So we're going to be asking more specific questions about his endeavors in business. So do you want to just start off by telling us a little bit about you?
Sure, sounds good. Thanks for having me. And yeah, I guess yeah, I'm Jacob. I'm just joined very recently, about a week ago. But yeah, it's been so fun. I'm a comedian, so I do a lot of stand-up comedy. I have a new comedy special out for free on YouTube called Unemotional Roller Coaster, so I'm really excited about that. But I've been doing stand-up for about 13 years. Some people know me as someone who was on Wild and Out for 9 seasons. I started when Conceited started on there. In when they rebooted it in 2013, season 5. And that's been super fun as well. So I love doing that in between other stand-up shows like The Late Show with Colbert and Adam Devine's House Party and Roast Battle and Comedy Central and things like that. So I've been super lucky to get to do things like that. These days I'm doing a lot of like virtual college gigs. I'm really enjoying streaming on here as well and things like that, and just being on people's podcasts, doing all kinds of whatever I can to just try to stay sharp during this weird time when we can't always,
Right.
have
Right.
real audiences as much, but doing a lot of socially distanced shows as well and things like that.
So you talked briefly about the college. What exactly are you doing with that?
Yeah, so I've been doing college gigs since, yeah, for the last like, I want to say like 8 to 10 years or so. Really ever since shortly after I got out of college, I was kind of started stand up during college and got obsessed with it. And a little bit afterwards. It eventually turned into my job, but
Right.
yeah, basically, yeah. So before the pandemic, I was touring at colleges a lot. I would just travel to all over the country and do about an hour of stand-up comedy, usually just with it was typically just me on the show, but sometimes I did shows with people like Conceited or other people from Wild and Out. So either stand-up or Wild Not Games, but a lot of times it'd just be me doing an hour of jokes. And so I definitely miss that, but it's been kind of fun to get to still do that in a virtual form. So I'll have people in the audience at online shows and that kind of thing.
Are they just like inside the Zoom meeting and you're in there and they can all see you? Do they like
Yeah, exactly.
tickets to in order to see your show? Is that kind of like the format of it?
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes there's yeah, like for colleges there's like an exclusive link, or I do all kinds of stand-up shows on Zoom as well. So sometimes there's tickets or different things. And
So interesting to me. That's a
yeah, it
really
can definitely be interesting because it's like you never know how it's gonna go. Usually it's really fun, but I had a couple where like everyone was muted, so I was just saying jokes with no response. So it's kind of like the first 2 years I did comedy. It was super. I think the worst show I did at the end
Maybe
of
I'm
my
not
set.
as funny as I thought.
Yeah, exactly. The worst is like when at the end of my set I'm like, this was weird because you guys were muted, and this guy's like, actually we weren't muted. But but usually it's pretty fun for sure.
So, okay, so and what got you into streaming out of curiosity?
Well, I think once the pandemic happened, I definitely started rethinking everything. Like, I think day one, I started doing shows on Zoom and stuff and just trying to figure out whatever I could do safely. And so, yeah, so I've really just really missed like being able to go to comedy clubs and see audiences and see comedians. So, I guess I think Kim Possible reached out to me about doing her show on here, and that was a lot of fun. And then
Mhm.
she introduced me to Chris Casper, and he invited me to do his show, which was great. And he was telling me a little bit more about it. So yeah, it just was such a great experience that I tried it out and kind of quickly got addicted over this last week or so that I joined, and especially
Oh,
battling Conceited and talking about the old days of starting together on Wild 'N Out. And so now, yeah, I've been slowly trying to get the hang of it, and it's been really fun to meet a lot of great people on here and everything for sure.
yeah, especially during, like you said, such a hard time. We all are trying our best to be social and be safe at the same time. So I would consider you a businessman, right? You're an entrepreneur, you're working for yourself. What got you
Sure.
into comedy? What got you onto that path?
Sure. Yeah, that's a good question because and I definitely don't think of myself as a businessman, but I guess I do technically fit into that. But it's so weird to call myself that because I basically just
Yeah, you're working for
my
yourself.
job. Yeah, I mean my job is really just to tell jokes and typically be myself and things. So it's
Jokes
like
are a business, man. Jokes are a business.
I guess so, but it definitely doesn't feel like work. So I feel super lucky in that regard. And
Yeah.
it was kind of a natural transition over time of just really enjoying doing comedy and kind of obsessing over it. And so at the beginning of college, I had a friend who I saw do an open mic, and he was just starting out. It was the first time I realized like I'd already been a big fan, but I didn't realize that you don't have to be amazing at it right away. And so I just signed up for an open mic and just kind of got hooked, even though I was terrified and felt like, so nervous. I still do have a lot of social anxiety and stage fright, but I think the stage fright has gone down a little over time. It's just a lot of trial and error. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
So you mentioned that you have stage fright. So what was that like when you first decided to do the open mic and you went in front of people? Was that a success? What happened with that?
It was definitely exhilarating because I had never done anything like that before, where outside of some plays in high school and earlier, but where I was like the only person on stage, it felt like a lot of pressure. I think I was a big fan of comedy, so I kind of put my foot in the water when I was when at like my high school graduation. It was a small school, so they let anyone talk. So I did give a speech there, and I think I tried to use that as an excuse to be funny in a way and just throw in as many
Do people
joke
laugh?
type things as I could. Yeah, and so then when I actually did stand up for the first time, it was definitely terrifying. I definitely felt nauseated, beforehand, and I was scared of starting a conversation with one person. I was super shy, let alone the whole crowd. So I was, but then once I got up there, the crowd was super nice. I mean, it was a small, friendly college campus, so of people I knew. So it was like I'm sure the material probably wasn't that great, but
Yeah.
they definitely treated me as an amazing audience, and so I'm sure if I looked at my set, I'd be embarrassed by the jokes or the delivery of the time, but it was definitely fun enough that I just wanted to keep doing it,
Yeah.
and stick with it even when I had trouble figuring out what worked, what kind of jokes to write, and that kind of.
So okay, so you gave a speech in school, you had an open mic experience. What happened for you to become professional? What happened for you to have your own show? What led to that path?
Sure. Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, it's funny because like it never felt like any one thing because it was so gradual. But basically, once I did the open mic the first time, I was so hooked that I just wanted to do it all the time. And there wasn't a lot of stage time at my college because it was kind of in the middle of nowhere. But I was lucky that the open mics that were there were really supportive. So I think it was like a very kind of nurturing environment to start in. And so I just did those as much as I could. I tried to write down anything that I thought was funny and tried to get on stage or drive to other places. So I started doing like open mics in my hometown when I was there. And like instead of studying abroad, I went to Chicago for a couple of semesters during college just to get on stage more and take improv classes and do a lot of stand up like shows and open mics.
I've taken some improv classes. It's a
Yeah.
lot of fun, but you feel crazy. You feel crazy when you're doing the exercise.
Absolutely. And I was terrible at it for a long time. Like now, on Wild Now and stuff, I think I've sometimes gotten the hang of it, but it took me so many classes before I felt competent. And I was really lucky that it turned into a job later. But yeah, it definitely
So what
takes a
was the
lot of
event?
focus.
What happened? How did you get approached?
Well, it's kind of a long story, but yeah, basically, I guess one of my first big breaks was during college. I won this I did it, like I said, I just did it a lot in Chicago, just did as much stage time as I could and tried to write whatever I could and slowly get better, hopefully, and met a lot of great comedians there. One of the shows I did at the time, I was doing a show in Madison, Wisconsin at Comedy Club on State, which has an amazing crowd. And I was able to get a pretty good video there, which I submitted to like this online contest. And during college, I actually won a trip to open up for Nick Cannon on his Showtime special in Vegas. And so that was definitely a big deal for me at the time to just get a
Mhm.
free trip to Vegas and all this stuff. And that was a lot of fun. He was super nice. So yeah, I was blown away just by that. And then after college, I just kind of kept at it and kept doing comedy and gradually doing some more paid gigs here and there. But I also had a ton of day jobs and other things in between. But one day I did submit to America's Got Talent, and they actually ended up really enjoying my video, so I got to do that and made it through a few rounds of that without having representation or anything because I guess they either liked my stand up or they thought it was like a weird character for the show, whatever it was.
Right.
I'm just
Yeah.
happy they gave me a shot. And so I got to do the semifinals on there. And after that, I was a little sad, because I was not totally happy with how my last performance was on there. And I was like hoping to not get eliminated. But I just kind of like slowly started, getting back into just trying to keep my spirits up and getting on stage. And one day I got an email that I still didn't have an agent or anything, but someone reached out about me auditioning for Wild and Out. And at the time I didn't know a lot about it, but I started researching it, and um, it was kind of like funny because I seem like, I'm like not someone a lot of people would assume would be on the show, but I just got lucky that Nick Cannon enjoyed my comedy and wanted to give me a shot. So I had never like rapped before or anything, but I was like started really practicing, and I had been doing a lot of improv and stand up, which helped. And so I just
Right.
started like rap battling my roommates in the living room of our apartment and stuff, and just doing whatever I could
Oh my
to.
gosh, that's so awesome. If I would have known, I would have been like, hey, come and perform a little bit of rap for us.
Oh, I would definitely don't consider myself a rapper though. It's fun to do it
Yeah.
on that show, but I definitely have always been more comedy focused, and it's just kind of.
That's really cool. Wow, you've had such an interesting history. So I've noticed that your Instagram, I think, is like 87,000 followers, right? Have
Oh
you
yeah, something like
thought about what you can do with your Instagram outside of comedy?
that. That's a good question, and no, I haven't really, but I probably should look into that. I've mostly just been posting like stand-up comedy clips, or there's
Mhm.
a comedy sketch recently I was really excited about that I put on there, but.
Well, so you get like promotion, sponsorships. You had a post today, I think, where you were wearing a hoodie. I'm guessing.
Yes, that was Puff.NYC, a great local New York clothing line. And I actually met them just in the last week through here. Really nice guy in here. So please check out his clothing line. And so stuff like that. No, I feel very lucky that I've
Right.
sometimes gotten some nice things from people and everything.
And if you were imagining yourself in your career in about 5 years, where do you see yourself?
That's a good question. I'm not sure how to answer that because when I first started, the goal, I did have a 5-year goal when I first started doing stand-up of just like surviving basically, and or maybe getting to the point where I was full time. And I did get
Yeah.
lucky to be able to do that in that time frame. And ever since then, honestly, it's like everything has just been a bonus. Like I grew up so like quiet and shy and overthinking and kind of like hard on myself in terms of like being self-critical. So it was kind of a like just such a happy surprise to me just to get to like tell jokes for a living for the first time, even when it wasn't always that well paying in the beginning, but I had
Right.
like was lived really cheaply, and I was just so excited to get to like perform in front of audiences and come up with material. And the fact that I'm still doing that after over 13 years is like, I'm so happy for that. So at the moment, I'm just kind of taking it one day at a time and concentrating on like writing new jokes every day and trying out new jokes at shows and slowly building towards like hopefully another stand-up special. I've been so happy that people have been
Netflix.
listening.
If something on Netflix, that'd be
Sure,
incredible.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, wherever it is, I would love to do another one. And yeah, right now it's out on like the album version I think is on like Sirius XM and Pandora and Spotify and places like that. And the fact that people are watching on YouTube too, and I was able to self-produce it. I'm so happy with that. But yeah, sure, I'd love to eventually do it with another platform. But if not, either way, it's like I just want to like keep making people laugh and keep trying to come up with
For
new jokes and get on stage wherever I can and try new things, new platforms like this, and
Of
just try
course,
to
yeah. Me,
expand.
it has endless possibilities. This is a platform where it's whatever you make of it. And I guess my final question to you is, what would you say as words of encouragement, advice, tips, caution to somebody who's thinking of having a career in comedy? What should they watch out for? What challenges did you face?
Yeah, that's a good question because comedy can definitely be really tough, and let alone right now when it's not even possible most of the time to do
Mhm.
shows. But I think the main things are like if you want to do it, it should definitely be because you love doing it. Because it is possible to make money at it eventually, but it's one of those things where it typically takes a lot of time leading up to that where you're just doing it for free until you can get good enough that people want to give you those opportunities. So you have to get through those years where it is more of a hobby or more just something that you're doing on your own expense. It's like you just have to like love doing it, and the biggest things I think every comedian will say are just getting on stage wherever you can and writing down whatever you think is funny, writing as much material as you can. And
Right.
the some of it won't work, but eventually you'll build up enough stuff that it can definitely become a really fun job. So I would just say to it's worth giving it a shot if you're thinking about doing it, to anyone out there. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for jumping in and being part of this. And thank you for opening yourself up and sharing with us. I appreciate you. All
Yeah,
right, guys.
thanks so much for having me and for all the info about the app. I'm having a blast, and everyone have
Yeah,
a good one.
like
Thanks so
the
much.
answer on that, 100%. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Jacob Williams, make sure you hit him with a favorite. Very interesting comedian. Obviously, in many senses, he has made it big. He's new to the Meet Me platform, so let's make sure we hit him with a favorite and we welcome him because he is now part of our family online. So the second guest, I'm very, very excited to welcome to the box. Spiritual threesome. Honestly, she is a woman of ambition. She has her own business. So I am really, really looking forward to getting to know her better and kind of exploring her business and how she got to where she is today. So if Spiritual can request the box, that'd be amazing.
Hey.
Hi. Oh my gosh, it's third eye, not threesome.
I know. I was like, okay, hold on.
Oh my god.
Spiritual threesome. What's on your mind today, Jules?
Oh my
Thank
god,
you,
I'm
Jacob.
moving along. Hi, how are you, beautiful? How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing.
Now I'll think about a threesome all night.
What is a spiritual threesome? Okay, no. We're not gonna. We're not gonna.
All get together and sit in a circle
There we go. There we go. And merge our spiritual
and
energy.
meditate.
Anyway, so I was really happy when I met with you and talked with you. Your business, I think, sounds really, really cool. Can you just share with all of us what you do?
Yeah, so I own my own skincare business. It's called Body Infinity LLC, and it's 7 months old. I actually started it during the pandemic, but I've been sitting on my business plan for a little over 2 years
Interesting. Okay.
because I didn't believe in myself.
I've been there. I've been
Yeah.
there. Okay. So so let's just go all the way to the beginning. All the way
Yeah.
to the beginning. What was going on in your life when you came up with this concept?
I had just given birth to my daughter,
Okay.
and I had a pubic symphysis in my hip, so I barely could walk.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was working, but I almost had my neck broken. So I was unable to work. I was unable to hold my daughter. I was unable to breastfeed. Like I was just stuck at home and I got very depressed.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, if I can't work, what can I do? And I was like, well, I have so many talents. So I sat down and wrote a huge business plan of like all of my talents. I sing, I draw, I write poetry, I perform, like I do all of those things. And I was like, well, I have sensitive skin and my daughter does too. So I was just sitting and just diving into studying it, formulating ingredients. And, I had it all set out all the way down to how much it was going to cost me. And I just booked it away.
Hmm. And what do you think caused you to put it away and not take action?
I didn't really believe in myself. So growing up, so I was actually in homelessness as a kid, like with my mother.
Mm-hmm.
We've never really had anything. I've never really seen anyone in my family be successful. And then moving out of that home, I was in another home where I grew up with gang violence and mostly seeing people die before they ever reached like 16. So that was very unfortunate. Then that guardian passed away. I actually moved where I live now, and I lived in a very abusive home, very abusive home. And so I just never thought that I could be something better than that. That all I saw in my family was like this repeating cycle.
Right. Being cycle of self-doubt, yeah. And probably afraid of failure, right?
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah, it's just.
And caring a lot about what they thought,
Mhm.
always trying to prove them wrong in a way, but I was proving them right, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, letting them win in a sense.
Hmm.
Letting the people that treated you wrong and who did not believe in you win. 100%. So, what event happened where you finally decided to take action? Was it like a mindset? Was there an event? Was there a trigger? Like, what caused you to finally go, you know what? I'm tired of doing things the way I've been doing it. It's
Yeah.
time for a change.
I broke my ankle.
It sounds painful. That might be some change. I'm not gonna lie. If I broke my ankle, I might rethink my life a little bit.
Yeah, I literally fucking tripped out of 2020, but I broke my ankle.
Okay.
And I was going through that like, oh, thank you, love. Oh, find me Nemo. I was talking about Finding Nemo earlier, but I actually have to get ligament reconstructive surgery.
Okay.
I decided not to get it, and I went back to work. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm working. I'll be able to start my business. I was saving up for that. And then COVID happened and I got laid off. And
Mm,
so when that happened, I was like very distraught. And I was like, you know what? I'm tired of putting this on hold. I'm going to go ahead on and invest in my business and get started now. And I actually played it on the safe side. And I was like, you know what? It's the first month of my business. I'm probably not even going to sell 50 products. I sold out and I had to buy more products.
what?
Yeah, I
Okay.
sold out.
Where were you selling? Were you on
Yeah,
Instagram? What did you do? How did you sell out?
so first I reached out to friends and family, found out that you shouldn't do that.
Never worked, right? Oh, look at your call. Oh God, she's trying to sell to me again.
Yeah,
Just
no,
invite her for Thanksgiving. Right.
yeah, actually before I started my Facebook page. So I actually just started talking to people. I'm very social. I'm like, hey, I started my business, and I like opportunities just kept coming to me. And I had actually got this opportunity, especially with the protests and stuff. I actually spoke at a protest, and I set up a booth for my business there.
Okay.
And like that really got me out. I actually met a lot of other local business owners in the area as well. So it was what she sells. So I actually sell right now because I formulate all of my ingredients from scratch. I have a body butter, body scrubs, face moisturizer, a face primer, and I have other things in the work that I'm coming out with.
Wow.
But I do all of my ads. I use a couple things for ads. I've created my logo.
Nice.
I do my labeling. I do my packaging. I deliver. I ship. I do my accounting, my bookkeeping.
Right? And you're a mom?
And I'm a mom, and my daughter actually was diagnosed with autism.
Okay.
So through all of that, even before she was diagnosed with autism, we were in and out of the hospital a lot because she actually she was pooping blood for over a year, and we couldn't figure out what was wrong with her. So trying to work, having my injuries, having my daughter sick, I was like, I need to be home with her. I need to be taking care of her. So starting my business really helped that. But also I was like, you know what? I really want to help people. That's one thing I'm very passionate about, not just educating them on their skin, but I actually went back to school. I'm now a certified nursing assistant. I graduated last year. I actually just got my diploma in the mail today.
Like Superwoman.
Yeah, and I just,
7 months?
yeah.
You get a nursing assistant degree in 7 months?
No, I got that in 2 months. I was like doing night school. I was doing night school 4 days a week.
Oh my gosh, girl, that's amazing.
And I started earlier this month in phlebotomy. So I was doing full days from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And this Saturday, I take my national and state exam, and I'll also be a phlebotomist.
What is a phlebotomist?
A phlebotomist? Yeah. I take your blood.
You're like a vampire, like a nursing assistant vampire.
Yeah. So
take blood. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll take blood.
And how does that fit into your business or is that something you're doing just independent of that?
Yeah, so I'm actually wanting to go to nursing school.
Okay.
Yeah, so that way too I can kind of
Just add it to the pile of stuff you're doing. No problem.
yeah, so I want to go to nursing school.
Superwoman here. Hello.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That is so crazy.
I mean, would you believe a nurse when she says her products are really great for your skin?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I probably trust a nurse more than I guess you can put that on your website.
Yeah.
Do you want to be a nurse and run your business?
Yeah. I've actually been running my business this whole
And
time.
be a mom?
Yeah.
And be a streamer?
Yeah.
So I have a very good question.
Seriously,
What can you not do?
what can I not do?
Yeah.
A backflip.
Yeah, but you can learn how to do that. Like you can teach yourself. Like
Right?
you can take online for that.
Yeah. I mean, well, I started streaming and I was very, very shy.
Mhm.
And it's because I didn't know what I wanted to do on here. Like I saw other streamers and I was like, wow, like they do have this uniqueness about them. What can I bring to the table? So out of all the talents I do, from my poetry, from my singing, I was like, which one am I not nurturing? And it's my tarot, my spiritual side. I've been a spiritual reader for 5 years.
Oh, that's amazing.
I love giving readings. So that's what I do on my streams.
Are you about to ask me if you can read me? Okay, yeah, we can do
And
that.
I already can tell you've never had one done.
Oh my gosh, I'm so scared. All right, what do we need to do here?
So this one,
It's gonna be like, I'm gonna get, what is it, the death card? Isn't there some kind of death card in there? Like, you get it,
oh,
you're
no,
gonna
so
die?
this is actually my love tarot. I can read with no cards. I also do mediumship.
You need what?
Mediumship.
Mediumship. What's mediumship?
Yeah, I can contact the dead. I can communicate with the spirits.
Okay, let's start with the card reading. Let's
Of
take these baby steps here. All right. So what do I need to do?
Nothing.
Okay.
So right now in your life, you need to focus on rebuilding yourself, breaking off from old habits. I like to think of kind of like shedding it away.
Right.
That could be past hurts that you haven't healed yet, as well as some family in your life that maybe you're not too close with. Like you want them to be close, but that relationship is bringing more harm than good, so you want to let them go.
Okay.
And with rebuilding yourself, I feel like you're already doing that. You've already learned to really embrace who you are, but there's still parts of there that are a little blocked that you need to learn to release. So forgiving past hurts, not saying that what the people did was okay, but saying, you know what, I forgive this enough that I'm ready to heal and move forward and be successful in my life.
Right. That's it?
No.
Oh, okay.
More.
Oh,
You're like, that's it?
I'm like, that's not that bad. Okay, cool.
Well, yeah, that's for me. And just your dedicated effort. You do a lot of things. You have all these ideas and you go through with it, but you're putting in that effort and it will pay off.
Yay.
You're the builder of your own life. And I love how he's painting what he wants his future to be. You are the co-creator of your life. So you choose where you want to go. And with rebuilding yourself and putting yourself out there for others, you're helping more people than you sometimes feel like you are.
That's beautiful. That's very beautiful.
And just awaiting results. I don't know if you've applied to something recently that's going to, I feel like you're going to end up having like your own show outside of this and outside of YouTube and out. Like, I feel like you're actually going to have a talk show, if that makes sense. But you'll see, you have to plant those seeds and just awaiting those results. Everything you do from your heart. So every seed that you're planting, those roots that you're growing, they come from your heart because you believe in what you do and you truly believe in the people that you talk to. Yes, she has her own magic. Success and growth. You're at a time where you're really going to start growing like beyond of what you've imagined.
Hmm.
So, you have these goals that you set and you're just like, I just want to help one person. I feel like you've always had that thought, like, I just want to help someone because you know what it's like to not have anyone. And you're going to succeed in that. You're really going to succeed in that. And at the end of the day, you'll be proud to know that you've helped at least one person.
Yeah.
And I can already see it.
I did not want to. Yeah.
Aw.
It's, that's why these things are scary.
Shine. You have so much energy, you have so much positivity, and at times you don't fully express that. I feel like it's minimal in that way outside of your day-to-day life. You don't really bring it to the surface as much, and there's a little bit of that self-doubt. So sitting and figuring out where that is coming from, because you're very vibrant. Like, I felt your energy from the moment I stepped into your stream. And take the lead of your life. You take the lead. Like, everything you want is already in your hands and it's waiting for you. Everything that you desire is already there. And I love to tell people, it's like the house of your dreams, the car of your dreams, the love of your dreams. They're already there. They're just waiting for you. Instead of saying, oh, it's never going to come, or this isn't going to happen. Our little mind, our mean bully tells us those things, but it's already there and it's already waiting. All you have to do is be aligned. What happened? Oh, she will marry it.
Try not to tear up. Like, I'm the host here.
Yeah, embrace yourself. And I really love this one because you had the shine card, and that's the earth here. And just embracing who you are and loving yourself enough teaches other people how to treat you and how to love you. And from other people seeing just your aura, your peacefulness, the love that you have and that you're giving has touched everyone in here. They're like, wow, maybe I can do that one day. Maybe I can be like her, like you're that mentor. And you embracing that and sharing that with everyone and being vulnerable with everyone has already made a difference, like a ripple effect.
Now are we done?
Yeah, I can do one last one.
Okay, one last one. I'm holding it together very well.
Nurture yourself. Making sure you take time to really care for yourself. Sitting out in nature. For some reason, I feel like you need to go to a beach because I feel like you need to put your toes in the sand.
2 miles from one.
Like putting your toes in the sand and just being aware of your surroundings and taking that time to be alone and knowing what you need, because throughout these interactions, you're constantly taking on energy everywhere. And sometimes you hold on to that energy. So would you like to do a quick exercise with me?
Sure.
Yeah, everyone in here, you can do it too. Okay, close your eyes.
Okay, 1 second. All right. Sorry, this thing is freezing on me. Okay, close my eyes.
Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Take another inhale. And as you exhale, say, any energy that's not mine, leave now.
Any energy that's not mine, leave now.
And take another deep breath. And just sigh it all away. And you'll feel like a weight. Just lift it from your chest and from your shoulders. And that's a great thing. Thank you guys for the roses. That's a great thing to do throughout your day, or even after you get off stream and after you interact with everyone, just to make sure. I call it emotional throw up or spiritual throw up. Like, if someone really threw up on me, I want to get it off as quickly as possible. I want to clean myself. Yeah. So just like those emotions and that spiritual energy, you want to make sure you clean that off as well.
100%. Oh, that was really sweet.
Thank you for letting me do that for you.
You're a little bit scared, I'm not gonna lie. I definitely was like a little bit cautious, but that was a very beautiful experience. So thank you. I appreciate that. And thank you for jumping in my box and sharing a little bit about your journey. Just to wrap things up with you, And I'm sure you're going to answer this beautifully. Okay. What advice would you give to, a young woman, a young man who are thinking of starting their own business?
Yeah, go for it. I mean, we hear a lot about people who came from nothing or who gave their all and they failed, but we always have the chance to try again, to rebuild, to recreate. That's all life journey is about, rebuilding ourselves, reimagining. And if it doesn't work out, it's not the end of the world.
Mhm.
So sit down, manifest what you want, and make that plan. Like I said, it took me 2 years, and even then, the first plan I made is so different than the plan I set down and perfected. And I thought my business I thought the time had to be right in order for me to start my business. I was always waiting for the perfect moment to start my business, and there was no perfect moment. It turned out that the perfect moment was losing my job, being in this complete state of this isn't going to work out, but I'm going to put it out there and I'm going to try.
Right.
Yeah. So yes, there's no perfect moment. So go for it,
That
follow
is
your dreams, and just don't let other people get to you.
100%.
Don't let anyone
Oh,
else
I've
get
mastered that. Being a
Yeah.
streamer for a year and a half.
Yeah.
I've definitely
you.
mastered that.
You can't control what other people feel, what other people think. All you can control is the steps that you take in your life.
Your life.
So yeah.
Thank you again. Everyone, please make sure you favorite Spiritual Third Eye, not the other one.
Oh, thank you for the wine, Widowmaker. Also, that name. When you say the Widowmaker, that's actually the name of a heart attack. Some science knowledge. I don't know if you did that.
Great. He's gonna
Yeah,
he's gonna give me a heart attack.
they
Good to
don't,
know.
and it's usually called the Widowmaker. Yeah. Awesome.
That's really funny. All right, girl. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being in here.
Thank you.
I love. Guys, make sure you hit her with the favorite. That was an absolutely beautiful interview. And what a message of positivity, kindness. She struggled starting her business, but when she took the steps, she just saw amazing results. And she's confident now and she knows who she is. And that's just an amazing journey and a story she just shared. So the next segment that we have is Slow Crush in here. Slow Crush, are you in here? So we're going to do a couple interesting facts about business. This is titled Fascinating Business Facts That Will Blow Your Mind. So we're about to see if this is true. Okay. So let's see. Walmart averages a profit of $1.8 million every hour. Okay. Starbucks round tables were created specifically so customers would feel less alone. That's interesting. Apple's iPad Retina display is actually manufactured by Samsung. That's interesting. Didn't know that. Dasani water is just purified tap water. It doesn't come from a natural spring. Okay, seventh fact. 1 in 10 Europeans are conceived in an IKEA bed. Okay, next one. 8. Marvel Comics once owned the rights to the word zombie. The red and white Coca-Cola logo is recognized by 94% of the world's population. Okay. The iPad 2 would have cost $1,140 if it was made in America. Okay. Taco Bell has proved to be a huge flop in Mexico, as Mexicans were confused by the Americanization of their traditional cuisine. That's funny. Okay, 12. Adding /4 to the end of Facebook's URL will take you to Mark Zuckerberg's profile. Okay, I know everyone is leaving my chat right now to try that. Adding a 4 to the end of the Facebook URL is going to take you to Mark Zuckerberg's profile. Okay. 13. Cereal is the second largest advertiser on television today behind automobiles. Google was originally called Back Rub. What? Wait, I'm so confused. So Google was originally called back rub, you guys. Okay, moving on. Pepsi got its name from the digestive enzyme pepsin. Hey, thank you. Okay. Amazon.com employees spend 2 days every 2 years working at the customer service desk, even the CEO, in order to help all workers understand the customer service process. Okay, that's cool. Speaking of Amazon, it also owns Zappos, Shopbop, Goodreads, and Audible.com. Okay. Candy Crush, the game, brings in a reported 633 million a day in revenue. Okay. Samsung accounts for 20% of Korea's gross domestic product. Burt's Bees is owned by Clorox. Did you guys know that? Huh. Candy Crush needs to pay me $1 million. Why? Because you play it a lot. The most productive day of the work week is actually Tuesday. Yeah, JD. Warner Brother owns the copyrights to Happy Birthday. So it technically owed royalties every time you sing it to someone on their big day. We're all breaking the law, you guys. Okay. The new car smell is composed of over 50 volatile organic compounds. Okay. If Bill Gates were a country, he'd be the 37th richest on earth. All right. This makes sense. 64% of consumers have made a purchase decision based on social media content. Okay. Oh, McDonald's first menu item was hot dogs, not hamburgers. All right. Let's see. More people in the world have mobile phones and toilets. Guys, that's really wrong. Okay. Starbucks spends more on healthcare insurance for its employees, 300 million, than on coffee beans. If you had $10 in your pocket and no debt, you are wealthier than 25% of Americans. Facebook is primarily blue because Mark Zuckerberg suffers from red-green color blindness. I did not know that. Robert Cheesebro, the inventor of Vaseline, ate a spoonful of the stuff every morning. You can eat Vaseline? Is that healthy? Okay. Let's see. Every week, nearly 1/3 of the US population visits a Walmart. Okay. Victoria's Secret is the most followed retailer on Instagram. 40. In iPhone ads, the time is always 9:42 a.m. or 9:41 a.m. because Apple events start at 9 a.m. and big product reveals generally happen 40 minutes into the presentation. Okay. Oh, the Rubik's Cube is the best-selling product of all time. The iPhone is second. I don't know this. Steve Jobs is credited as an executive producer on Toy Story. Do you guys know that? Toy Story. Okay. 1 in 8 American workers have been employed by McDonald's. Okay. In 2000, Coca-Cola launched a stealth campaign against water called Just Say No to H2O. We're going to read that again. In 2000, Coca-Cola launched a campaign against water called Just Say No to H2O. Okay. Wow. That's crazy. Okay. Slow Crush, are you in here? Slow Crush. Hello? Hello? Oh, we'll keep going then. All right. Smoking near an Apple computer voids the warranty. Interesting. It must, I don't know, trigger some sensor. YouTube's broadcasts about 1/3 of the US's multimedia entertainment. The world's 100 richest people earned enough money in 2012 to end global poverty 4 times over. Okay, I'm going to read that one again. The world's 100 richest people earned enough money in 2012 to end global poverty 4 times over. Wow. Okay. The average smartphone user checks Facebook 14 times a day. Let's see. Gambling generates more revenue than movies, spectator sports, theme parks, cruise ships, and recorded music combined. Okay. Oh, you can purchase large sheets of uncut US currency through the mail. Has anyone tried that? Let's see. A customer is his last one, I think, on the list. A customer in a wheelchair successfully sued Chipotle in 2010, claiming its tall ordering counter denied him from seeing the Chipotle experience. What? A customer in a wheelchair successfully sued Chipotle in 2010 because its tall counters denied him from seeing the Chipotle experience. All right, we're gonna end with that little fact there. So there's that. All right, guys. So we are going to conclude our show. What a wonderful show! First, we got to talk to Jacob Williams, and he shared his experience as a comedian. We kind of got to dive deep into his mind, learn about his history in comedy. Then we talked to Spiritual, an amazing entrepreneur. She has a skincare line. I'm sure if you guys hit her with a favorite and message her, if you're interested in buying her product, she can lead you to the right page. Also, she's spiritual. You know, we got a little reading there, and that was extremely a little bit scary, but you know, it definitely hit home in the right place. So I appreciate the fact that she did that, and I was open to that experience. And then we read some fun little facts. So thank you again, everyone. Make sure you hit all the guests with a favorite. I appreciate all of you, and show is over. Hey, Will. Aw, JD, you guys are so sweet. That was a good show. That was really sweet. I love that. That was very, very sweet. All right. Hey, bouncers, when we're doing the show, if we have trolls, just kick them. Just get rid of them out of the chat. So, Emoji did film it, so we do have it. Dolphin. Yeah, I can always unblock. If it's somebody I know, I can always unblock them later, but I don't want to have, I saw some trolling going on. I obviously couldn't address it, but next time feel free to kick them out because we are filming this. So their comments are very disruptive and rude. And it does kind of affect the experience of filming this. So if you were somebody who was trolling me, even jokingly, this was not the time to do it. And I do not appreciate the disrespect in my chat, in my show. And next time it is done, you will be kicked out. Okay. Yeah, guys, it's a fun show. We always, we always find really interesting individuals to interview. So far, it's been great. We've had 3 episodes and they've been awesome. Yeah. All right, so we're ready to party? I'm ready to party. Alexa, play music. You're good, Dang. All right. Na. Yo, let's get this 47 mil tonight. Hello. Bam, bam. Something. Hey. Nothing.